can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna
Hey friends of the twins, welcome back to the channel. This is Rhonda, and as you saw in the title, we had a pretty quick sale on our old house that we moved out of. For those of you that don't know, we moved in December, and it allowed me to be closer to Shonda. So we're going to talk today about some of the things that I feel like helped us to sell really quickly. Now I know that we are in an unprecedented kind of market, but I do want to just toot mine and my husband's horns for just a minute, because over the 25 years that we were in our home, you know, we tried our best to take good care of it. And so not only did it go for was it put on the market at a higher listing price than I would have imagined, but it went for an additional $12,100 over list. And our agent just kept referencing the fact that it was move-in ready. And it was almost as if he couldn't believe that, you know, the house was move-in ready. Now, the hardwoods that you see have been in the home for, I know, 15, 20 years, something like that. And they were in pretty good condition. So, you know, all we had to do was really just give them a good cleaning. The chair railing had been up for a while, as well as this beautiful dental picture molding. Now, I had this put up maybe 10 years ago, something like that. So the only new things in this room are the floor vents and the mini blinds. And I was going to put up the wooden blinds, and my agent told me, whoa, you're doing too much. So I kind of held back off of that. So as we move into the kitchen, I'm gonna confess, y'all, I do miss my black cabinets. I love my black cabinets. My cabinets in my new home are a wooden color, but we'll talk more about that later. But these are the original cabinets to the home, so they are old. They are 30 something years, but I painted them black and added some molding around it. Now this was done some years ago, so you know, as you do things, you know, eventually everything gets old. But anyway, these are the original cabinets. And here in the kitchen, I didn't have to do much at all, just give it a good cleaning. Now, originally we had those, I don't even know what you call it, like laminate countertops. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The kind that'll kind of bubble up when too much water gets to them. Particle board. They had particle board on them. So I had that removed, a number of years ago. And this kitchen was on my list to be totally remodeled if we had stayed in the home. But it has been the way that it looks now for probably 20 years, something like that. But I enjoyed it over the years. Now, we left all of the appliances, everything stayed, and I even left them my little clean and dirty sign that I kept on my dishwasher. I left that for them too. Now, the cabinets originally did not have glass in them. I had this done a number of years also, you know, so really, y'all, we didn't have to do a whole lot to get this house ready. And I was so glad to be able to tell my husband, you know, after it sold for so much, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So we didn't have to do a whole lot. And we are actually pretty proud of the condition that we kept our home in. Back then, we didn't have a lot of money when it was time to change out the countertops from that particle board stuff. So we could not afford a whole slab of granite. So we went with the granite tiles. But I enjoyed it over the years. This was also an upgrade. I went to Hobby Lobby some years ago and I changed out the knobs, and I really love these knobs. Another thing that we did was we're looking at the lighting here. Now, this was the lighting that was in my new house, the one that I live in now. My lighting fixtures that I had in my old house, y'all, I was not gonna leave them. I loved my lighting. I had paid a nice little amount for it, and because I loved it, so we just kind of switched it out. As we look here at the dining area, now I had this railing changed out probably 8 years ago. And I really loved the wrought iron and wood look that I went with. And as we're looking here, Now what I'm showing you is I had this wall knocked out. Originally, the opening from the living room going into the kitchen area was like the size of a doorway, and so I had my contractor knock out as much of this wall. He actually took about, I don't know, maybe about 6 feet or so. I wanted him to just leave me enough wall to just cover the back of that refrigerator, and he did exactly that. And it was one of the best decisions that I made while I was living here. It really opened this space up. I absolutely loved coming through the front door and being able to see all the way into the kitchen. It just made me feel like I was fancy, y'all. And now we'll talk a little bit about staging here in the kitchen. Nothing much at all. I just put together this little floral arrangement, and some of you may remember these colors. I had them in a sunroom that I shared one year. And I wanted to make sure to highlight all of my features, so I did leave a little notes telling that we did have the under cabinet lighting. This lighting was nothing fancy. A lot of y'all may remember I got it at Aldi about probably 3-4 years ago. I actually had to buy 2 packs, so I spent $40 and I was very happy with it. It gave me the look that I wanted. As we look over here, this is the pantry. A very small pantry, but I wanted to tell you that the door is custom. Now the red door with the wrought iron on it, it actually came from Hobby Lobby, y'all. It was I guess it would have been like a wall piece. Y'all have seen these in Hobby Lobby. Well, it was too short for the space, so we did end up adding wood to the top where you see welcome at, and then I just I painted it with some chalkboard paint. Now I would write little things up there. You see I have welcome now. That was for our potential buyers, but I would put little things like happy holidays and all of that. And it was for the kids, but I don't know if they enjoyed it. If they did, they were teenagers and they weren't going to tell me, but I certainly enjoyed it. And what I'm showing you here is I have every shelf lined, and I added these knobs to these shelves. This was a DIY that I actually shared here on the YouTube channel. This little makeover was probably done, let's see, almost 2 years ago. Bought these handles at Hobby Lobby. Of course, they were 50% off, and I like the fact that it looked like you could pull the shelves out. You really couldn't, but I like the look of it. And now we're going to step down into the family room. You have to go down 3 steps to get into the family room. Now this house was built in 1987, so it's 30, almost 40 years old, and that's just the way that they were doing things back then. So the room was really kind of long and rectangular, but I tried to make the best of it, over the time that we were there. I had chair railing put in here a number of years ago, and I'm continuing with this same paint color, the colonial white. Now y'all, I have this color in my house here now, my new house. I enjoy this color. It's kind of warm and neutral, and that's why I love it. So we didn't have to do a whole lot in here, just get the carpet clean. Now a lot of people don't like carpet, but I enjoyed carpet in my family room. It gave me like that cozy feeling that I loved. So that's why I never had hardwoods put into this room. Now, some of you may remember a couple of years ago, well, we've been here on YouTube now a little over 2 years. So this was a makeover that I did on this fireplace probably last year. It was that old stacked stone fireplace, and I didn't like it. So I gave it a good cleaning, and then I painted it, and I used a color that is called mocha white. And so as you look from the stone on the fireplace to the wall, the colonial white, the mocha white had just a little bit more of a darker shade to it, so I ended up liking the contrast between the two. And this crown molding was put into this family room a number of years ago too. A lot of the upgrades that I have done have been, done over the 25 years. So several of them have been in the home for a while. Some of them have been there for so long that is, over 25 years, it's time to do it again. And now we're going to get ready to go out into the sunroom. And the sunroom is new. It was just completed in January of 2020. So people would say, including my husband, why do you want to spend all this money, build a new sunroom, and now you want to move? Well, I can explain it this way. We had a choice back in the day, either have a wedding or buy a house, which is the way that I saw it. And I chose to get a house, and we went to the courthouse and got married. But y'all, I'm just saying that to say we've been here a long time, and I was just ready to go. So when the opportunity came to move to be near my sister, which is what I wanted to do for years, I was ready, more than ready to go. But I did enjoy this sunroom while we were there. I filmed a lot out here. I sat out here a lot. This sunroom is 240 square feet, so it was a pretty decent size. And I'm showing you here on each side of the door, there was supposed to be a window on each side. But when the inspector came out, we found out that the windows on each side of a door have to be tempered. And we had already purchased all 10 windows for the sunroom, and the windows were $200 each, but the tempered glass windows were going to be $500 each. So I just opted to have wall space here, and I'm so glad that I did, because I ended up having my swing chair on one side and my computer desk on the other, and I really did enjoy that. The sunroom has 4 baseboard heaters that are plumbed into the electricity, which was more than enough to keep it warm in the wintertime. Now, it was hard for me to leave this ceiling fan. I really love this ceiling fan. I got it on Craigslist, and we decided to go ahead and leave it. My husband, if you ask me, y'all, he just did not want to take the time to take it down. But I didn't complain too much about that, because I do have the promise of getting a new ceiling fan, because here at my new house we are about 50% done with my new sunroom. Now, my husband and the realtor said I was just all kinds of extra, but y'all, I wanted it to be nice for the new family when they got there. So I just left little notes letting them know, okay, we got the ceiling fan remote here. And now that didn't hurt nobody. Some of you may be asking, am I going to leave my panels hanging at the windows? No, I'm not. I'm going to actually be taking down all of my panels, because I'm going to need them for my new sunroom. I got all of these at, was I lucky enough to find them all at Home Goods, or did I order them? I really can't remember if they were from Amazon or was I lucky enough to find, enough to cover those spaces at Home Goods. I really can't remember. But no, I'm not going to leave my panels. I might leave the curtain rods. I'm not sure right now. I probably won't though. I probably won't, because I'm gonna need them down at my other space. So I can have that money that I will spend on new curtain rods. I can take that and spend it somewhere else. Another thing that I did was, y'all, these French doors, that I made into a barn door. They are oversized. I found these oversized French doors on Craigslist, and I remember we drove a little bit over an hour to go and pick them up. But when I say oversized, I mean the height of them. And I absolutely love them. And then I bought the track and all to make them into barn doors. I bought the track from Wayfair. And the hardware on them I got from Hobby Lobby. Let me show you how I did the hardware here. This is actually 2 pieces. I bought this panel, this piece, and then I bought this separately and just put it over it. Just like that. And it's perfect. I really love the way that it came out. Oh, I didn't show y'all. Let me see. Can I turn the lights on here? Let me see. Yeah, this sunroom has the recessed lighting. So the family that moves into this home, I hope that you will enjoy it just as much as I did over the years. And now we are going to go into this downstairs bedroom. We didn't have to do a lot in here either. Now, y'all, we did go through and repaint the walls in the entire house. I just wanted everything to be fresh and crisp. And, you know, little touch-up things, like touch-up paint and that kind of stuff with the trim. I didn't really have to paint all of the trim. The lighting in here has always been poor. It was always hard to film in here, but this used to be a guest bedroom. I did not have to put new blinds in here. You know, the ones that were in here were just fine. I did kind of touch up like the door, you know, little scuff marks, just little things like that. Come over here to the closet. This closet was configured a little bit differently. We did put in this new shelf here. Didn't take much at all. And we did paint the walls. It is also painted in the colonial white. And we went ahead and added this baseboard molding. Because this closet, it had some, but it didn't have, you know, the full closet didn't have baseboard. So we did add that in. Of course, these doorknobs is something that I put on some years ago. Another Hobby Lobby special. This guest bedroom has its own bathroom, so we'll go and take a look in here next. Now, y'all, this used to be our laundry room. When we first moved here, right where this shower is where the washer and dryer was. And in just a minute, you'll see where the toilet is. Well, that area was actually a little small shower, and it was so dark, and oh my God, it was just hideous. I couldn't wait to have something done with this room. Now, on the wall here, I have this metallic paint. I got it at Lowe's some years ago. This is the only room in the entire house that is painted in color. And now, we've said it before, y'all. We are Tuscan girls at heart, so I never really wanted to change this paint color because I liked it. And what do we always say? Make the life that you live a life that you love, because life is short. My husband, he can do whatever he puts his mind to. He is the one that completely remodeled this bathroom from the subfloor up. We did it probably, I know it's been over 15 years ago. And this is another one of those things, if I had continued to stay in this home, I would, you know, it would have been time to remodel it again. As far as the staging that I did in this bathroom, I just had a floral arrangement sitting there, and I also have some towels hanging on the towel bar. You'll see that in just a moment. But everything in this bathroom I left. It was kind of hard for me to leave this sink because I loved it, but I didn't have anywhere to put it in my new house. So let the next person enjoy it. I hope they'll like it. I don't know. I left the mirror, everything. I left the towels hanging just as they are. I just left everything because I didn't have a use for it, so why not hopefully let it be a blessing to the next person. Some years ago, we added these 2 shelves to this area here that's actually under the stairs for extra shelving, and I used it to store different toiletries and that kind of thing for my guests. And I left everything just as you see it. It'll be their choice where they want to remove it. And in that box below is an extra pair of wooden blinds for the window. And now we're going to head upstairs. I don't know if I told y'all, but the house has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So this is the bathroom that is at the top of the stairs. And as far as the staging here, I just pulled in more of the same florals that I used in the kitchen. And I just love this citron green and navy so much. Y'all might see this color again down here at my new house. I used it for the first time, pulled out the navies and all last year during the fall time. These were my fall colors. So I might use those colors again this year. As we look over here, the towel bar is new. I got it at Home Depot also. I just went, once I found the style of lighting that I liked. And then I actually chose the tissue paper holder, and it was a collection. So then I just went with all the pieces that matched from that same collection and ended up with the towel bar, the tissue holder, and also I changed out the little pull here on the toilet. It didn't really cost a lot. This cost me about $11, and it makes, a significant kind of impact and upgrade for just a little bit of money. Look over here at the tub area. I just staged it with a pair of curtain panels that I got from Home Goods. Already had them. Actually, they came from Rhonda, so I didn't have to spend any money there. Now we did, and I took them all the way up to the ceiling, just for a little bit of drama. And y'all know this always looks nice in a bathroom when you have the, the long curtain panels coming all the way down. Drama. Now the handles and the faucet here on the tub are new. We did put those in. The shower head is new. And I also had a towel guy come in and put the towel around the tub. So this is all new. And it really didn't cost a lot. One thing that I had to kind of pull myself back from is I kept, this was my baby. I've been here 25 years. I was kind of vested in this house. So I had to pull back and not make changes that were probably maybe unnecessary, like changing out the handles on the doors that are gold upstairs, because I, as my realtor said, I could change it to brushed nickel like I had in the bathroom, and the next buyer, they may not want that. So that was one thing that I had to kind of pull back from, making unnecessary changes. Now, for the most part, I did listen, kinda. This is the master bedroom, and in here we did end up adding on this crown molding. I just thought, that this master bedroom needed the crown molding, and so I went ahead and chose, a larger crown molding, and I love the way that it turned out. Now, was this necessary? We ended up putting crown molding in all of the bedrooms upstairs also. Was this necessary? Probably not, but I do think that it did help us to get to the ultimate end result, which was we had 5 appointments for showings for day 1. The house went on the market April the 6th. We had 5 showings, and out of 5 showings, we had 3 offers, and it ultimately, led to kind of a bidding war of sorts, and the house ended up selling for $12,100 more than list price. So, in the end, I feel like everything was definitely worth it. I'm proud of the way that I left the house. Now, like I said, it is an older house, so there are definitely things that new buyers may want to come in and do. But for me, you know, I'm kind of detail oriented a little bit. Like this, I made sure all of the floor vents in the house were brand new, except for the ones in the kitchen, those black ones in the kitchen, and that's just because they didn't need to be replaced. But you know, to me, it's all in the details. So, and something like new floor vents, these weren't very expensive. They weren't expensive at all. I think like $10-11. So we replaced all of those, and we also replaced all of the wall intake vent covers. Another little detail in this room is associated with this ceiling fan. Now, I love this ceiling fan. It has a vintage look to it. The color on it is like an antique white, and I really didn't want to leave this, but I went ahead and left it, and with a promise now, y'all, of getting me a new one. So the detail with this is that you do not have a handheld remote. The remote is attached to the wall, and so I just left them a little note, let them know that this is the ceiling fan control. Friends of the twins, y'all be honest. Was I doing too much? How would you feel if you were coming into a house and you had all these little notes left around for you? Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And now we have moved into the master bathroom, and it's a small bathroom. Remember, y'all, this house was built in 1987. So we completely redid this bathroom, with the exception of not pulling out the shower panel, but everything else, we took the floor down to the studs, took all the old sheetrock off, and this space that I'm showing you here, when we removed the sheetrock, I saw that we had this extra little space right here beside the shower, and what I wanted to do was just make the shower bigger, but it was going to be too expensive to move the plumbing, so I couldn't just let this space go to waste, because this bathroom is small. And so you'll see what we did ultimately that you know, I think came out really nice. The red on the wall that you see is just the waterproofing, and that's all I'm showing you there. If there was going to be any space that was going to be renovated, you know, before we listed, it was definitely this bathroom. I had not done anything to it in the time that we lived there. So what I did was I went to Floor and Decor, and I saw this pretty accent tile, and so this was my little inspiration piece for the bathroom. And then I chose a pretty little penny tile for the floor, and we just kind of went from there. We ultimately spent, oh, here I'm showing you the floor tile, and there it is actually on the floor. We ultimately spent about $2,500 redoing this bathroom, but I certainly didn't mind at all. Like I said, I had not done anything to this space. And this is how the bathroom turned out, and that was me turning on the lights. And I apologize for the lighting. It was very dark in there. I did have the blinds open, but for some reason that made it look even worse. But my husband put in 2 recessed lights, and he also added crown molding in this bathroom. And everything is new in here with the exception of the shower panel. So, you know, new sink, new mirror, new everything. And as far as the staging, you see, I just carried on with those same florals as in the other bathroom and kitchen. And just like in the other bathroom, I just took a pair of curtain panels and took them all the way up to the ceiling. Now over here at the shower, it came out pretty nice. I'm glad that I just chose to go with neutral colors. You know, that just kind of makes it easier. But the thing that I'm most excited about is that little nook that is right there to the right of the shower, because like I said, this bathroom is really small. So I'm glad that I took the opportunity to make that be a storage space. Now let me tell y'all what I had intended to do. I had intended to kind of stage that area to show people what you could do with it. The shelves on it, you know, it's a narrow space, but the shelves go back. They are pretty deep in there, so you certainly have enough space on the top shelf. You could put a basket, you could have toiletries, or maybe things that you're not going to use as often. On the next shelf down, you could place you some towels neatly, prettily folded up, and at the bottom you could also probably get you a hamper in there. I've seen the clothing hampers that are a little bit more narrow, or you could certainly put a foldable hamper in there. So ultimately I didn't end up doing that because y'all, by the time we were finished with this, we were just kind of exhausted with all of the back and forth between the new house, trying to make it livable, and things to do down here and running up here in the afternoons after work and all that. So I didn't get to stage that area, but I am certainly glad that we took the opportunity to, you know, make that space as available as storage. Friends of the twins, thank y'all for hanging in here with me. This video is getting pretty long. I have 2 other bedrooms up here, but I'm not going to share those. Just imagine 2 other bedrooms that look like the one we just came out of, except they are just a little bit smaller. So just a little recap for you. The house went on the market April the 6th. We had 5 appointments, 5 showings. We received 3 offers, and it went for above list price. So we are gonna consider this chapter closed. As always, friends, you make the life that you live a life that you love, because life is short. And thanks so much for watching.